Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase, pricing, and availability questions concerning this watch. Today we are discussing a second series Breitling Old Navitimer. The model in my hand, vintage to approximately the year 2000. You can see it is 41.5 millimeters in diameter in stainless steel, as well as yellow gold, 14.3 millimeters thick. From lug tip to lug tip, just the case, it's 48 millimeters. If we add the end links of the bracelet, the total distance across the wrist is 49.3 millimeters, and the watch has a 22 millimeter spacing in between the lugs. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference. You can see it wears nicely. It is large. I'm going to recommend this watch for a wrist of 15 centimeters circumference and up. Now, if you look at the edge of the lugs, you can see I've got a little bit of extra clearance on each side. So if your wrist is slightly smaller than mine, you could still wear this. Taking a look in profile, has a little bit of an outcropping to the bezel, so it will fit underneath jacket cuffs, but not the tightest of dress shirt sleeves. Taking a look from a distance, you can see the further away you get, proportionally, the better it looks. Taking a look at the bracelet now, this is the Navitimer bracelet, distinct from Breitling's Pilot bracelet. Pilot is a 5-link, Navitimer is a 7-link. This features both gold and steel. You can see that the end link mates it cleanly to the case band. Everything here is polished. We have removable links fixed in place by screws. We have a single fold deploying clasp right here with a clamshell lock. Note that at the time, Breitling's logo did not have the wings. This is just the B that they're currently using as of 2025. The wings would arrive later and then be retired for the current era of Breitling under Georges Kern. Taking a look at the clasp body, you can see that there are 4 sets of divots, so you can use your strap tool to dismount the spring bar and change the anchoring point here. If you want to fine-tune the fit, rolling around, you can see the underside featuring plenty of gaps to avoid pinching skin, pulling hair, or trapping wrist heat. The case itself, a familiar Navitimer design with a relatively narrow case band and relatively simple lug profiles squared off the end with a sort of soft bevel on their flank. We've got crown and pushers, and then a yellow gold bidirectional rotating logarithmic scale calculator bezel. So I've spoken of this many times and how it works, but we'll just go over it one more time just for those who may never have seen this. Now, of course, this is a circular slide rule, but a engineer's slide rule or a scientific slide rule would have a lot more calibrations. So this is designed for multiplication and division. So when you do this is you take the number to be divided, we'll do division first, and you divide 90 by 30, so 90 on the outer scale, 30 on the inner scale. You got to keep the decimals in mind. It's not going to do that for you. This could be 9 divided by 3, 90 divided by 3, 90 divided by 30, or it could be anything involving a 9, a 0, a 3, a 0, and decimals. Okay, so anyway, 90 divided by 30, you go over to the index, which is the 10 on the inner scale, that's 30. So 90 divided by 3, we're going to call that 30. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Let's say we want to do multiplication now. Say we want to multiply 2 by 5. We take the number to be multiplied, in this case 2, and we're going to multiply 2 by 5. So we find 5 on the inner scale, and you can see 2 multiplied by 5 is going to be 10, just like that. So very simple. You divide by effectively making a fraction. So if I want to divide 50 by 25, I put the 50 over the 25, and then I look at the inner scale. That's 2. And then multiplication, you start at the inner scale and the inner reference, then you work your way to the outer. So if I want to multiply 20 by 30, 20 multiplied, well, let's just do 2 multiplied by 3. Go to the inner scale. 2 times 3 is 60, just like that. Okay, anyway, luminescence. We're into the era of luminova at Breitling. In terms of how I gauged the vintage of this watch, a couple of things. First, you could see that the reference here has a 3 in the 3rd digit right there, 133. That 3 means it's chronometer certified, so Breitling's from 2000 forward were certified chronometers. Now, the other thing worth mentioning is that we have this date and year code in the bracelet clasp, which is generally very close to the number that's stamped on the case between the lugs. We can't see between the lugs here, but you can see 2-5, meaning the 25th week of the year 2000 for this bracelet, and the bracelets and the cases generally match fairly closely. Very simple. We've got a silver dial with a series of tone-on-tone golden registers, slightly countersunk with an azurage or concentric pattern internally. We have applique rose gold plated indices, hands to match, and luminova. We have a date. We have a Valjoux 7750 inside. That's what Breitling calls caliber 13, another number you may have seen on the reference on the case back. Now you can see how I'm able to stop everything by pulling the crown. That's hacking seconds. I also have a quick set date. It's a 4 Hz beat rate, 25 joules, unidirectional automatic winding, 42-hour power reserve, 5-position adjustment with a COSC chronometer certification, étanche, 30 mètres, and that is our 30-meter or dress watch standard water resistance. So water resistant to 30 meters in practical terms, that means washing your hands or you get caught out in the rain. That's not for submergence. And then on the back, we have a conversion scale between Fahrenheit and Celsius. I believe if you're good at mental math, 1.8 plus 32 will get the same result if you're converting from Celsius to Fahrenheit. If you love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.